Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich here with your outlook for June 21st, 2016. For your Tuesday, we're going to start off with a simulated radar image going back to 3 o'clock in the morning. Some of you were woken up this morning by some thunderstorms in the wee hours of the morning, and this should not take long to get off the eastern seaboard. We're going to have this progress through pretty quickly, and this is actually looking at 3 a.m. at this image. Going a little bit further, you saw it press down to the southeast, and it is expected by 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to be exiting the coastline. So we're not expecting this to be an all-day thing, and some will wake up and it'll already be over and done with. Actually, most of you will, unless you get up very early in the morning. We're going over to the global models now. This is a look at the GFS, showing that system down further to the south. This is just a frontal boundary that's now going to be moving off to the south. So you will have lowering humidity for areas in the northwestern zones, still hanging on to some upper 80s to near 90 across the far south today, but so it will be quite a difference in temperatures because of where that frontal position is. And there will also be some thunderstorms that could pop up later in the day. I want to go back a little bit. This is actually the NAM image showing those thunderstorms moving off early in the morning, or showers and thunderstorms, but then you can see later in the afternoon, this is a look at 2 p.m. and then 5 p.m. You see some storms refiring with this cold front still in close proximity. So you could have an isolated, maybe widely scattered, we can call it, thunderstorms in the afternoon moving off to the southeast. That affects mainly our southern areas here, but you can see all the way over from central Jersey and back to about York County or Dauphin County in Pennsylvania. You could have some storms firing under a residual boundaries before that shifts off to the southeast, and then it will eventually dissipate. Do want to move ahead to the next image, but we're going to get there in a second. I want to show you what's going to going on for Thursday. So that's our next rainmaker. This could actually turn out to be a pretty decent rainmaker, and for areas that need it the most, which are right now our driest areas, are anywhere north of this line here. Southern areas are still faring quite well, and has pretty close to near average precipitation, at least from a soil moisture standpoint, south of that line. But areas up here are the ones that need it the most, and it does look like the model guidance are doing two things recently. It has been speeding up the system and is also increasing the amount of moisture for areas farther north. So here's our system coming in from was originally in the Ohio Valley. Now it looks like it's going to be in the southern Great Lakes, so that you have this area low pressure that's moving eastward, and it's bringing all this rain out ahead of it, and that's going to be with the actual warm front that's pushing north with it. So this is going to move across the area, and then there could be a little bit of a clearing inside, in between here, between that and the trailing cold front, which is sitting back here, and there could be an opportunity in this between the warm front and cold front where you're warm sectored, and you could get into some severe weather here on Thursday for some places south of those fronts. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Very fluid and very dynamic situation, so it has a high bust potential if we're going to call for something severe. So it's a little bit too early for that. We're going to wait. But there is the potential, if you're looking at some of these model soundings that are quite aggressive, especially from the NAM model, which is specializes in mesoscale type systems. So here is the system, and this is a simulated radar from the NAM. We're going to go forward here and show you that rain coming through. You see it's some pretty heavy rain coming through in the overnight hours, mainly after midnight. This is look at 4 a.m. on early Thursday morning, Wednesday night, what have you, and then this will move across most areas. So we're getting a pretty good drenching of rain here, and you see the highest concentration of that rain is up where the areas that need it the most. So this is a good thing. So we get a pretty good stratiform rain here, and then this moves through. Once the low pressure system passes, and you might get a little bit of a clearing in here in between, and that's going to raise the potential for some severe weather to develop along the frontal boundary. Now, it's a little too early to tell if this is going to turn into severe or strong storms. We'll have to monitor this as we get a bit closer. It's going to depend a lot on what happens with these frontal boundaries and where they're situated, but it does carry potential for severe weather later on Thursday if we do in fact have that clearing. So we'll be watching and monitoring that over the next couple of days, and then that clears out, sets up a nice weekend once again with increasing temperatures. So here this system moves out, high pressure moves in. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, high pressure and control, and we are going to be back close to 90 degrees again this weekend, especially by Sunday. I think that's your peak heating day, if you will, and then we have another system coming in from the west that might be coming in for early next week. You might get another day of clearing before this comes through, before this frontal boundary makes its entrance. So you might get another hot day here on Monday before that the next front comes through with a cool down. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is our outlook for June 21st, 2016. Have a great Tuesday.